I wore a blazer this time because you're more professional. Okay. So, hey everybody, welcome everybody back to the I can't say my own podcast name. The Overstuffed Burrito podcast. Today I have Shauna. She's at a standing 6'5", right? I think so. She's in real estate. She loves horses. She used to be a fun bartender. And she's just overall one of the best human beings I've ever met on this planet.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Shauna. Thank you for taking your time out of your week, your day, away from your kids to be here. It's nice to have you. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. And they're still not eating ice cream for breakfast.
It's gonna happen. Like you don't understand. I'm persistent. We will have ice cream sandwiches together one day.
One day. Yeah. I prefer ice cream for dinner. That we've done that a couple of times.
But see, that's too normal. Wait. Before dinner or after?
As dinner.
As dinner?
As dinner.
Oh yeah. I like that so much better. Okay, so you can't tell, but I'm very nervous. It's like, to me, this is kind of the same as interviewing a celebrity because I've only known you for so little and you're awesome enough to come on here. So the way me and Shauna met, I was a security guard for her neighborhood at one point. And I got to tell you, it was so fun seeing you come in every time with your kids because you were always smiling all the time. And I just was like, dude, I have to say hi to this woman one day. I mean, that's what we did. We always, thumbs up and said hi. That's just our job. But you always came in with a smile, sunglasses, and a hat. So whenever you didn't come in with the sunglasses or a hat, I was confused. I was like, she looks so similar. And I regret not saying hi to you sooner because then I moved and then you left too as well. I
gotta say, you were my favorite because every time we did go through, you're like, I was like, the happiest person in the world.
I miss that job so much. That's hands down my favorite job I've ever had. And I just, because I got to be with people. And there were some days where I would just work the resident lane just to say hi to we always had our favorite neighbors.
Yeah.
Or our favorite residents come in, and you were definitely one of them. You're up there. And I made sure to tell anybody who were training to look out for that black Jeep. Yeah, to make sure they got special treatment.
Thank you.
What was your favorite thing about Dove Canyon, living there?
I guess the neighbor friends that we had made, there was a couple on the street where the kids could go out and play and the parents would get together. So we had a couple of good neighbors, a couple of not so great neighbors. So
is it very passive aggressive with those so bad neighbors?
Yeah, I mean, you try to ignore them as much as possible, but when they fly by you because they're at the end of the street and your kids are all playing in the middle of the road and there's no sidewalks, so unfortunately, but I guess I really liked that, and then being in the hills. It's so hard for me to think about really good stuff for Dove Canyon.
Okay, let's get into the bad.
Oh, you know what? That street, was that Foxtail with their Christmas lights every year?
Yeah.
That was the bomb. That guy was awesome.
That was a beautiful street.
Yes.
Beautiful street every Christmas. I love to, every time I got to come in, it was great. You moved to Idaho?
I moved to Boise. Boise, not Boise.
Boise. Boise. You gotta use like a little New Jersey accent in there, or New Yorker.
You gotta say the C. Boise.
That's an S?
It's a yes, it's not a Z. And people make fun of you. If you say Boise, they make fun of you.
Because everyone hates Californian people. You became, or actually, you know what? I want to ask you. So you did work with horses, but you did that for a specific reason. You had, I believe it was a company you managed, or what was it, and how did it help the people who came in for that?
So The in California, I had worked as a therapeutic riding instructor for children with autism. Can you hear all this in the background?
Yeah, that's fine.
Lots of kids
You know
knocking
what? You know
on the
what?
door.
Normalize working mothers, all right? I don't want to hear anybody say anything about anything that's going on in the background, all right? I don't want to hear crap about it. She's a working mom. Leave it alone. If you had kids,
Working
you'd
mom.
understand too.
Yeah, and well, and the neighborhood is so filled with kids here. It's like a birthday party every day.
Oh, he has their cake. It's their cake
No,
every day.
there's not cake, but they make brownies and cookies.
Did you ever go to BJ? Just a side note. Did you ever go to BJ's Steakhouse? Did you ever and brewery? It was
In
there
Ranch
was
Road right
one.
there.
Yeah, there was one right down
Yeah.
the road. Did you ever
Hmm.
have it? Do you remember Pazookies?
Yes.
Oh
Who
yeah.
can not remember Pizookie?
It
They
was a
still
simple
recreate those.
to everybody. It was a big cookie they made with ice cream on top. It sounds basic, but they make it in a certain way where you just remember it. I found a couple out here.
It's a crunchy cookie,
Yes,
crunchy on the outside and soft and gooey on the inside. It's all about how you make the cookie, really.
just heaven. But yeah, I don't want to hear
Yeah.
crap about the noise in the background. Anybody who's watching,
Okay.
all right, she's awesome.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I was a therapeutic riding instructor in California. I worked with children in autism and then people in recovery from drugs and alcohol and whatnot. So I would utilize the horses as equine activities to help them learn more about themselves and how to work through difficult situations and how to rethink and perceive things in just a slightly different way so that you could actually expand your toolbox of how to handle a situation when it comes along. So,
That's very awesome. I really like that. I was
yeah.
really just intrigued by, and it's not just beneficial for them. It's beneficial for you as well, and anybody
Mm,
who was employed because you get to not only get to you work out with, and it was you said autistic people, so that ranges from did that range both from children to adults as well?
yes, yes, but most of them were children.
Okay, and see, and that's just a great insight into how to handle.
Mm,
Um, children are tough. Not that I have kids of my own, and I wouldn't know, but having I believe a child with autism is a little harder, but you got to, experience that and possibly help others.
mm.
Um, you know, not I don't want to say deal with it because that's the wrong thing. It's a negative connotation, but just help the children is the best way you can. And horses with animals? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? It's an awesome job.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was hard work because especially working outside in the California heat was like kill me. But yeah, they had a good time, and the horses that I worked with were really great, and they liked working doing that with the kids.
Hmm.
Some horses are like, no, I'm not into this, and so you'd have to find another horse that would work well for them. So
Hmm. That's great.
yeah.
How did because being in California, super dry, and
Hmm.
for years there we had, well, a major year. There's always fires, but how did I know there was one fire that was burning up behind, like 3 miles from you guys, that they had to take water from the lake from Dove Canyon to
Hmm.
pour over those. So how did the fire affect your business or the business that was going on?
It didn't affect where I was stabled, but there was a barn over in Irvine, back by that park over there that burnt
Hmm.
down. So all their horses had come to us for the most part. And it just crowded the arenas, but it was nice to meet other people. Really, there wasn't any detrimental effect to where I was at. It was just the people had to be rehomed for, I think it was about a year and a half while they rebuilt their barn out in Irvine again.
So you guys worked together to take care of these animals. Um did you get to use any of these other animals that came to you in the what was the name of the business that you were doing?
Rising Strides.
Rising, that's right.
Mhm.
Did you get to use did you have like a collaboration with any other business to be able to use for Rising Strides during that
Um,
time?
no, I had another therapist because there's a therapy group that works out of the same barn.
Hmm.
So she had a pony that was great for the kids. I had another friend who had a much taller horse. A couple of friends actually. One was a draft horse. The other one was a quarter horse. and they were so even keeled, super easy. So I
Hmm.
had a draft horse for the bigger adults and then the younger ones down to the pony. But as far as those new horses coming in, insurance is really particular. So it's hard to use other people's horses, especially
Hmm.
when they use them for training themselves, to have somebody else come in and use them too.
Well, that, Shauna, that was very awesome. When you first told me about what you were doing, especially, there's so many therapies out there. I didn't know that horse therapy was one of them. So you definitely taught me something new
Yeah.
when you told me about that. And I have so much respect for you for the patience, and the drive in your life that you must have had, that you have currently, to do that. And
Mhm.
I'm sure that was a great part of your life, and you get to take that with you and pass it on to other people, if they have any questions about it.
Yeah.
So thank you. That was very motivational to hear from you.
No.
Just to hear
Thanks.
you do that. You're welcome. Um, and then she left because California is a horrible state, just terrible and expensive, just
Hmm.
so bad. And so she moved and she left me to Boise, right?
Boise, yes.
Boise. And then she got into real estate.
Mm.
And she is one of the best real estate agents over there. You know why? Because I feel like she's the only real estate agent over there. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm one in a million, but I have my niche. I look for great horse properties, clearly, because
Hmm.
I have my horse and can really guide people onto the best places to look and what you need to maybe give up in order to have the land over the home, or you get the home over the land. And so there's not too many horse property, equestrian property
Hmm.
specialists here.
What, I assume real estate is kind of more of a tricky business. I'm not sure. How would you say being a real estate agent? What was like, what's the hardest obstacle that has been thrown your way, and uh, what lesson it taught you so far?
Okay, so the inventory is super low. The market is oversaturated with agents. And there's a lot of people coming in from other states, yes, mostly California, that have no problem paying thousands over asking. So actually winning the offer is difficult. And then everyone kind of gets like rejected and dejected, and it's never going to happen. Um, so the hardest thing too, I would think, is to still maintain the relationships through the up and down and just to be consistent. It's hard now for me to find people who are interested still in moving here just because the prices have gotten to be like California prices and
Hmm.
it's insane. So really the massive migration over here has changed just because of the prices. But it's not just Boise, it's nationwide across the
Yeah.
board. So I think it's, COVID, you were able to now work from anywhere, which some companies are still really adhering to, which is amazing. But you're also now people are going back because they like for here, for instance, there's some California people that went through a winter and they're like, nope, too much for me. I can't do it. And back to California they go. So it's a revolving door at the moment.
Really? People just went nah and left, and now you're there to just resell it
Yep.
as best you
Yeah.
can.
And it's easy to resell because it's still a brand new home. They lived in for a year and the winters are too cold and I don't know, maybe the summer last year was too hot, although this year compared to nothing like last year.
Like, you didn't know that Idaho had cold winters.
I mean, these things you got to think about when you move here. I love the seasons. That was one of the reasons why I moved here. I wanted seasons. But we're hoping that with this astronomical heat wave we've been having this whole summer,
Mm.
that the reverse on winter will come around and be loaded with snow and super cold. And all those California people are like, peace out. I'm not cut out for this.
I feel like people don't have like the patience to adapt to the
Mm,
seasons, because being both from California, it's expensive, but people don't realize they pay for, not only do they pay for where they live, it's being close to the beaches, the nicer areas, safer areas. I was from Irvine, is one of the two safest cities in the States. But you pay for that. However, when you I would say to people to move and to experience, because I moved over to Philly when I came to visit. It was wintertime, and it's the first time I had seen mounds of snow. And
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, is it really like this? And my buddy told me, yeah, dude, whatever season it is, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And, people from California get sun usually all year round and almost little to no rain, unfortunately. But I don't think people have the patience to just adapt to it. If they just waited a little bit and see, like season after season, simply just watching the trees change color was enough for me to be like, you know what, I'm gonna stay here.
Yeah.
So I like it
Yeah.
out here. And you said you get seasons over there as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. And down in the Treasure Valley, you don't have as much snow as northern Idaho. Like Coeur d'Alene gets dumped on. And that was one of the reasons why we didn't go even look up in northern Idaho, because I know that I can't handle that much snow. So down here, you get snow and it may be for a couple of days, and then the sun comes out and it melts it away. So you can have fun in the mornings, but by the afternoon, you're like back to business as normal.
Nice little hot coffee or
Yeah.
chocolate
Yeah,
right by
exactly.
the thing. Yeah. You talk about the morning and the afternoons. What is, being a working mom with two beautiful children, a dog, no dogs,
Two dogs.
two dogs, and a wonderful husband. What is
Don't
a
forget my
morning
horse, dude.
and your horse? Yeah,
Can't forget Spirit.
I'm so sorry. I never got to meet your horse.
I know. Never leave a family member behind.
My bad. I'm sorry. And you guys drove with your horse, right, all the way to your new house, or was he on a whole different? Did you pay like someone to come get him?
Oh no, I for sure paid somebody to come and take him. He's out of Norco actually, and he did an amazing job. It's not just a matter of driving straight through. You have to really pay attention to the horses. You have cameras in the back to make sure they're still doing okay. You have to stop
Mhm.
frequently so they can get out, because they are in such a small space for a long time.
Yeah.
Their legs start to get like edema. It all pools down, and
Mhm.
so they got to get out and move
They're
around.
like big dogs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does a morning routine look like to you? What do you usually, being a working mom, what is the what is the morning routine for you?
Well, I wake up and the first thing I do is hit coffee. Coffee, coffee. Who doesn't? I mean, seriously, as a working mother.
Yeah, I used to drink it for the taste, and now that I have to wake up at 5:45 every morning, it
Yeah.
helps. I didn't realize how much it actually helps.
It totally does. Well, it's the routine of getting up out of bed. It helps me to get out, literally out of bed, because I think coffee smells and sounds wonderful in my brain right now. But it's different if the kids are in school. It's different thing from when they're in the summer. So
Mhm.
right now we're in summer, we're getting ready for school. So I have to get them prepped and ready for their future education. And we go over what they learned last year and just kind of prep them for that. Kind of figure out what we're going to do a little bit more relaxed. It's
Mhm.
harder to sit down and actually do focused work because they need stuff. They're coming in and out, or they need to go somewhere and do something. But when they're in school, then you wake up in the morning, you have your cup of coffee, you get them ready and out the door, because I carpool. And then I can
Awesome.
sit down. Yes. Then I sit down and focus in on a good 4 hours of my work, which is mostly marketing. I had no idea how much of a marketing guru you had to become in order to really get your name out there, especially for real estate. I mean,
Mhm.
it's different when you have that niche for the Rising Strides business. You know exactly where to target and who to go, and all you have to say is, "Hey, I'm here," and people pretty much flock to you. But for real estate, you don't get to just be like, "Hi, everybody, come see me," because everyone has a friend who's already an agent,
Unless you have a billboard.
right? And even now, those don't work anymore.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I really tapped into the horse community in California that I know of, and just around as well. And started a Facebook group called Horses Relocating to Idaho, because when I looked, there isn't any kind of real information on where the stables are, what's the community like, especially
Mhm.
from coming from California. All the groups that already were set up were for people who were already here.
You know what?
So,
That's a great thing. That's actually a perfect thing. If you look to see at first and you're trying to look for something specific as that
mhm.
and you don't find it, you're like, why wouldn't someone have this?
Yeah.
I assume that a lot of houses over there, especially yours, has wide open fields, big
Mhm.
ranges for horses, to just
Mhm.
frolic and
Yes.
to ride. And I would say, like, take, like, you think about it, but then you take advantage of it, like, huh, why isn't there?
Yeah.
Let me be the first one. And that would be, that's just this, yeah. That's a great thing. So tell me about how you accomplished, you started that, and did it grow? Did you get a lot of people commenting on it, asking questions? Is it still kind of taken off, or where were you at with that?
Still kind of taken off. Not a whole lot of interaction. There's a couple of new people that found the group and they've asked questions, but yeah, it's hard to get it up off the ground unless if you do like a Facebook ad, right, to get it
Hmm.
promoted. But I'm just trying to figure out which way works best. And then I started Whole Purpose Realty, with Boise Premier, which is the brokerage I work with, and have a page for that too, so that you can get your real estate tips. And it's linked to the Horses Relocating group. Um, but same thing, it's like friends and family are on there, but it's really hard to expand a little bit more.
Oh, that's
And then
awesome.
you take it over into the Instagram, which is a whole nother thing. And I'm trying to really get down into YouTube, and you could probably help me with this, because doing a YouTube channel, I am not comfortable just talking to a camera. I need to have conversation. It's like, hello, thank you for joining me at Whole Purpose Realty. Let's talk about water rights. Like, I can't even watch it. So boring. So I'm like, I'm really struggling with that right now.
It is difficult because I tried doing the whole vlogging thing, and the most annoying part of that was taking a camera out every 5 seconds to record. And
Yes.
I'd say be careful. I mean, you're doing it for a business reason, so that's a perfect that's a way you don't get lost in it. But when you do it in real life, it takes away from your actual experience in life. There's been like so many times where my friends are asking me, why aren't you recording this? I'm like, because this is a nice sunset that I want to enjoy.
Yeah.
Everyone sees a sunset, but this one I want to experience for myself. Being in front of a camera takes so much time to get used to, and
Hmm.
you got to get past the awkward stage. It's
Hmm.
just it's so weird.
Yeah.
And it you gotta you gotta make sure, because you're gonna, like, this would be what, at home, or would you do this outside for a YouTube channel?
I think it would be both. Hard to do it outside, which I would really love to do,
Hmm.
but because the sound, and it would be harder with all the outside noises to be able to hear my voice. And in the house, I mean, look at this office space. I have a backdrop to kind of make it look nicer,
Hmm.
but then it's like me talking at the camera. And so when I watch it again, I was like, but it's not just me, right? There's a lot
Yeah.
of other agents that are doing the same thing. And it's not like they're like pizzazzy, or, there is one girl, real estate with Taz, and she's a cute thing, man. And she's like, what, maybe 25. And she's very knowledgeable about the market here. But she comes on and just like, hey guys, like I just rolled out of bed and my hair is like this, and I got makeup on from last night. And she just talks, and it's like, okay, so that for me looks great. Like I love that she just doesn't care if she looks professional or not, because she
Hmm.
has her moments too. She dresses up and looks professional and does her thing. But then it's like, I'm coming up here to show and share this information with you that I just learned, no matter what I look like. And she's talking too, to just the camera, but there's something about it that holds my attention way more than, hello and welcome to blah, blah, blah channel. And, this is what we're going to talk about today. And then there's their intro, my name, and here's the brokerage that I'm with, and it's the pretty music. And then you cut back to them. It's like the news channel, right?
Yeah.
That's the
Today at
example.
12.
It's the news channel, because you watch the channel and you're just like, right? There's nothing exciting or fun about it, besides, the information that they're giving to you. And sometimes that information is not so exciting. Like for me, sometimes when you talk the economical part of real estate, I'm just like, it lost me once you start blurting out all these numbers. I don't get it. So, but they keep saying, just do it, and I do. I have a couple of reels and I look at it, and then I interject and myself coming in like, who wants to listen to this? This is so boring. Can we speed it up? And then cut back to and thank you so much.
Yeah, I would rather be behind the camera than be in front of it, to be honest.
Too.
It's just weird seeing yourself up there in front of everybody. And
yes.
Oh man, to learning not to care about what other people think took a great deal. I think a lot of time for me to be able to come to terms with. Yeah, but you're 25. I think you're young, right?
Sure. I'm celebrating my 24th anniversary of being 25.
Oh. No. No, you're 25 and we're going to keep it that way.
All right, I'll go with it.
All right. Yeah, so is it is it a video? What kind of content do you want to create? Would you want to create it for a general public or a specific group of people?
Specific group, because I think that a lot of the people that are moving here are people who are looking to retire, or newer families that want a better life for their children. I know in my situation in Orange County, there are a lot of groups that are coming through and pushing out the entire equestrian community so that they could have the land to develop. And a lot of people, I think, with their horses are moving out here too. And they always had dreams of having a farm. So they'll get some goats and, some sheep and whatnot. So I kind of want to cater into those two groups as much as possible. But of course, I mean, if a family comes over and they're like, we need a house that's in this great neighborhood or for this school district, totally, you're your person, but my passion lies in with equine properties and the equine community here and the retirement community, because I think we're along the same lines of the outdoor activities and the lifestyle that it has to offer.
Have you been more, of course you're personable as a real estate agent, but have you been more having to almost fake kind of a one-on-one, or have you been, been able to relate to a lot of these people coming over to Boise?
Totally relatable. But I have a very wide, eclectic background. I used to love racing cars. I have horses. I used to, I was a bartender. I was a firefighter. I was, dabbling into personal training and just like the wide spectrum of stuff. It makes me very relatable to a lot of the people and, their activities. And so I think it's easier to talk to someone when you have a common interest, as opposed to someone like if someone who said to me, I love motorcycles and I want to ride my motorcycle around, what's the best place to go to? I'd be like, I don't know. I'm not a motorcycle rider, instead of being like,
level with you.
Best place would be to go over here and do this. And you could drive through there and it's really gorgeous through here. It's freezing at this time and I don't know any of that, or Jeeping. My husband has a Jeep, right? Mm-hmm. So you could the best part is to know the different Facebook groups that you can connect with, because the people here are so open. If you have a common interest, they're more than happy to have you join them, as long as you're not a California attitude.
I don't miss that whatsoever. People over here in Philly don't really use their horn. If they want to go around you, they just go around you. People over here are typically a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Than people over in California. You race cars? I don't know
Yeah,
why
when
that
I
just hit
was,
me.
I had a boyfriend, right? A couple of boyfriends. One liked to really do up old school cars,
Mhm.
and he would paint them up and whatnot, make them look pretty. And then I had a boyfriend who had a Camaro that he would race on the track. So that was fun. We got to, he let me drive his car once or twice.
No, you took that thing out for a spin every Friday and Saturday night.
I raced it around Huntington Beach a little bit, but don't tell anybody.
PCH?
No, no, yeah, Beach Boulevard.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Um, bartending.
That was always
Please,
fun.
please tell me, like, you have when you think of your bartending years, was there like a couple of specific memories that come out, good or bad? Because
Mm,
you did it in New York, right?
it did, yeah. New York was easier than the one in Lake Forest, this last one that I worked at a few years ago. The drunk people are hard to work with. Oh, and at weddings. Okay, so I did weddings as well. And when you shut the bar down, you've never seen so many angry people. And they start coming around and trying to be like, I paid for this. I'm like, security.
So they
That's
were
the word. The drunk people.
they were drunk enough not to be sober, but yet not drunk enough to knock out. They were just drunk
Right.
enough to be super angry.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
super
Yeah.
annoying. Oh, okay. Did you have anything for me and anything in my experience, Dove Canyon, um, about life? Is there anything that you would like to ask me?
You have done really well. Like your social media stuff is really good, right? Um,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, the photography is awesome. I love that you're doing this podcast because it shows me that you're coming out of your shell a bit more. Um, I'm really, if you have any advice on how to make like YouTube videos or I got it. I got it.
Got it.
Okay. It's really hard for me to make my personality show through on the camera when I'm sharing
Mhm.
information about things. Give me some advice to help me through that instead of being like, yes, a riparian water right is something that's important for you when you have blah, 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 right? Like, how do I showcase my personality and bring it through the camera so that I can help other
Hmm.
people laugh while I give them the good information?
So I kind of did that. I'm an ambassador for Amazon. So when I get new hires that come in, we have to read off a Kindle, and they told us we have to read word for word. And then I have like a group of 5 or 6 people, and it's like 70, like a PowerPoint of 70 pages that I have to read word for word. And I know myself. If I was in that area, I promise those will link together. But if I was sitting listening to that, I would start falling asleep. And
Hmm.
even in the training classes I was in, some of the training when I was being trained to be an ambassador, and I saw other people, I was shadowing people. I saw people going to sleep because they were just reading off this PowerPoint, and they couldn't do their own spin on it. And like,
Right.
how are we supposed to make these people feel welcomed if
Hmm.
we feel like if they feel like they're talking to robots
Yeah.
on a one sheet? And I get that. Um, and I actually kind of almost got in trouble with this, but I read it, but if I put my own spin on it, like in the
Hmm.
beginning, I would say, "Hey guys, listen, this is how long this is going to be,
Uh-huh.
and I very do much relate to you. So if you do start to nod off, I understand." And that right there just kind of took away that awkwardness of not knowing me to coming down and leveling with them one on one. Look, I understand. If this happens, I won't get mad.
Hmm.
And, giving them, and it's almost giving them an indirect choice to stay awake because this guy gets it, he understands.
Yeah.
um so I guess that any of the information that you want to give out, don't read it as you're speaking it from like you have your information and you just kind of read it off of that. You want to be able to do your own little spin on it, even if it is your own work. Just
Hmm.
how would this appeal? How would if you kind of also if you record yourself while doing it and you say, what, instead of saying I don't like all of it,
Yeah. Yeah.
pick out certain points where you're like, I can do this differently. I could say that differently. I could smile. I could do like a relatable joke at this,
Hmm.
professional. obviously if you want to do it professionally. Because I'm guessing in your field there are like inside jokes that only certain people of the community would understand. So you want to, appeal to them like that.
Okay.
You obviously would walk in with a smile because you're always smiling.
I noticed though that I don't. It's very much like, well, and I started on a side note, I started doing saint makeup because I am totally a low maintenance person, right?
Mhm.
And I watched this woman who is getting older. I think she's like 55, and she does her makeup and it looks great. And it takes 2 seconds. So I'm like, I like this. And she was like, you could just even sell it, just because you can get kickbacks and whatnot. So I started that channel for YouTube, right?
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Instagram. And I'm doing these things like it's like paint, war paint, the Indian style. In here and you just put it here and then you take your brush and you
Just
all over, right? So, and I did that and I'm watching the replay of myself and I'm like, ugh. So I'm going to work and I think you just do a little up here and then the kids are coming in. I got to do this. And it's just like, wonder, like, oh my God, this is so boring. Who wants to watch this stuff?
Yeah, you could literally say that. You just at one point, like you just go, like if you're looking away from the camera while doing it, and you just stop and go, you know what, guys, I am not a high maintenance person. Oh, I'm a low maintenance person.
Yeah.
I understand if you want to watch this part, like just skip to this or just be real with it. Some people in real, like you are naturally beautiful. Like, my God, you don't need it, Shauna.
You
do it because you want to, and that's great. Like you don't do it because you want to. It's awkward for you. But like, say that you could say, look, this is awkward for me because I don't do this much. And there's a lot of people out there that are like you, aren't you, but like you in that course of, I don't really do makeup.
Yeah.
This is just for show.
Born to beauty. But now that I'm getting older,
you're not. Continue.
Well, my body, I got like what's this thing here? I was like, what the fuck is that?
Full buff, Shauna. It's mom muscle. Are you kidding me?
Mom muscle.
For years you're carrying.
Yes. It's hard to age gracefully. Like I don't have any intention of doing the Botox or the fillers or whatever, but I find it harder to work out on a consistent basis. And some of the sunspots from always being out in the sun at the barn is starting to appear. And I have naturally really great skin. I'm blessed with it from generations,
You must be Italian.
German.
Yeah.
German.
Awesome.
So I wanted to start taking care of it, but also like, my husband now, when I put the makeup on, even so it's quick and just barely there, and he's like, you look really pretty. And I'm like, see, we're doing it for everybody. We're doing it for him, doing it for me. I got to capitalize on the strengths up here and so it doesn't look down here so much.
No, you'll be fine. You're young. You do not look over 30, like whatsoever. No, like not at all. I could never have guessed that. But if I guess there's a whole, and I don't know what another word for it is. I just know that nowadays people like to use, they call it the sex appeal, or you look your best and that's what brings it in. And I think that's very unfortunate as a society. That's what we've come to. And so, and that's why I said, you come in with your personality all smiley and happy. That's just who you are. And you explain the information in the best, in your own little way. And you put your spin on it. And so I feel like that should be enough, for you to grab an audience attention. Unfortunately, we have a whole society nowadays where you have to look the best to grab the attention of a certain group. But it shouldn't be the case, but that's where we are. So I would say to you, don't change who you are for everybody else. If you, that's ultimately your choice. Literally, no one else could do that. Even if your husband said you got it, no, no, you don't know. But it's up it's ultimately your choice whether you want to make yourself look like a Barbie doll, I guess. I'm not sure how much I could say on this topic about this. But yeah, don't change who you are just to grab the attention, because it's just not worth it sometimes to
Yeah.
kind of, I guess, demean yourself
Hmm.
to that level. Um, as you said, a lot of your clientele is to come to Boise to retire, right? And families, like, you're not
Hmm.
trying to entice you're not trying to entice this wife's husband into buying the house. It's the
Right.
family house. You're a family. You're a family. You have a family as well.
Yes.
You can get on one to one. It's unfortunately, I say if you're coming to Boise to California, yeah, you're gonna have to look
Mm.
straight up, like a celebrity,
Yes.
Botox, stuff like that. But
Hmm.
you're in a more rural family area. Look like
Yeah.
a family. It look like you have a family. Just I think parents have an unspoken connection that they know when they see other parents, and you just kind of, I guess, you talk about your children, talk about like work life, and that that
Hmm.
that in its own is enough to be like, you know what, we like this person because she
Yes.
gets it.
Yes. Exactly.
So I would say, yeah, with YouTube and everything like that, if you're appealing towards equestrians,
Mhm.
or in families, you just talk about that and you put your own little, like I said, I can't stress enough, put your own little spin on it, because you don't want you have they know the information. They're coming here with what they want, what they're looking for,
Mhm.
but they also want a company, because you're the face of it. They're coming to buy
Mhm.
this house, and they want to know, they're looking for something, they want to know more information. You're the face of what they're coming to, and you want them to feel invited, like have
Mhm.
the best. If they don't purchase right then and there, you just have they'll keep you in mind for the
Yes.
future, and then they may recommend you to other people.
Right. Yeah.
So be you. Let's see. Look at your smile. It's a beautiful smile. You have
Thank
wider
you.
teeth than I do.
And I just mentioned how yellow they looked recently. And that's the other thing, right? They all like, I need to file them down.
You file your teeth down.
You totally can so that they're flat because these have bridges and it drives me crazy.
Yeah, I need to whiten them.
Yeah.
I miss you, Shauna. I'm
I
hoping,
miss
like,
you.
I hope everything. Is everything going okay? Everything going all right? Is there any big problems you've had to face? Work, family. Let's get personal
Let's get personal.
for a
Starting a
second.
real estate business is really hard. So,
Late
really
nights.
dejecting. No, not too bad. It's hard to get leads, and then keep them in with you because they may reach out to you a year in advance or
Mhm.
may reach out to you and be like, I don't know what we're doing. Or they'll start looking at stuff for you and then a plan will change to the point where like, no, we're not coming now. So it's like, I've wasted all that time away from my family. Now you're changing your mind, like I
Yeah.
get it. It's just a little bit hard when you don't have a whole lot of leads coming through the door anyway. So
How do people? First of all, how do people find you? Like, you talk about these leads. How do they go on the internet, find like the nearest real estate agency, and like scroll through, just randomly click your name? What? How do they find you?
I think it's more network marketing, like Arbonne type people, right? Like they just
Okay.
friend everybody, which I recently, I must say that on my Facebook page, all these people who I don't know, but when they're friends of friends and they start going through and being like, oh, you like the person that might buy my Arbonne stuff. I'm going to friend you and friend you and friend you. And it's just like this, like that doesn't work for me. So
Yeah, it's not what you're there for.
right. And it annoys me to have friends of friends do that, So, but it is like network marketing. Like, there's a couple of people here, even within my neighborhood, they do very well, the women.
Mhm.
Um, but I think it's because they've had such a huge following before they even got into real estate that they are more successful than what I'm having.
They talk about like social media, or just people know them the
Yeah,
younger age. What kind of dynamic? Why would they be more popular than you coming
Uh,
in?
It is younger. They are the younger generation. I think they're probably about 10 years younger than I am, maybe. So
Can't
they
be
are.
a real estate agent at 15, can you?
Uh, anyway, uh, I think they really took to that social media thing when it first came out, right? And so they
Right.
just have developed more of a wide base of people. And then, as everyone gets older, they all want to move to Idaho with you. And oh, I know this person or I know that person. It really is a lot of referral based type stuff. So
To
I'm
get
not
your
really,
name out there is a little difficult, huh?
yeah, yeah. Especially being, a mom. Like these other women, they are moms,
Hmm.
but they just have a bigger base or different avenues of reaching out to people. Like the one woman, her husband's a builder. So she'll get a listing through that, or, there's
Oh,
different
that's
ways
so cheap.
to get involved.
That's
So,
so not fair.
but
Oh, that's so dumb.
I'm very happy for them. I'm glad
Mhm.
that they're doing so well. It just like, ugh, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I get a lead?
That's, you
So,
know what, that's not even true. A lot of situations make you compare yourself with others.
mhm,
And I tell, whenever someone complains to me about, not being ahead, even myself, I have to look in the mirror and tell myself, look, you are where you're supposed to be in your life.
yeah,
It doesn't matter what, of course you have a dream, you want to achieve it. You see somebody, like I have a bunch of friends getting married,
mhm,
friends having kids, and that's something I would want to do. I would like to jump from being single to having a family, but it doesn't work like that. I
right,
can't compare myself to others because and as much as you may be behind, you're still supposed to be where you're at no matter
yeah,
what. And greatness, and you will be blessed one day. You have that hope. And as long as you have that hope, you'll be fine.
yeah,
And you just can't, great. Like the best you can do is be so happy for them that they're doing great. Like, look,
yes,
it's like winning. It's like being in a track competition and then you came in second. You have to be humble about it. You tried your best. You did your best.
hmm,
Someone beat you, and you just say, you know what, that was a great race.
yeah,
Like I have something to challenge myself for next year or next time. And
hmm,
you have to be so humble about it and say, you know what, you earned it. You did a great job.
yeah.
Now, granted, there are some people who didn't earn it. There are some people who unfortunately get lucky,
hmm,
you know, I guess that has to do with the whole instant gratification with this new generation. It's
hmm,
so annoying. Uh, and yeah, people just get lucky. People have connections,
hmm, hmm,
and it sucks. However, over time,
hmm,
like I said, you have hope. You'll be fine.
yeah,
You'll have everything you ever want right in front of you, whether you realize it or not. And
hmm,
you're doing the job. That's the you want to do this job, and there's some people that are doing. There are people that do better. They're not, they're not better than you. You guys have
hmm,
the same job.
yeah, yeah,
It's just the circumstances, I guess,
yeah.
and you can't let that grab your soul and rip it out of you, because then
Right.
when you lose that part of you, like you will go the depths that you didn't think you would do before,
Yeah.
and you might regret it later. Like, why did I become this? Why did that?
Hmm.
You maybe like you just put on a ton of makeup and you look at yourself in the mirror like, why am I doing this? Like, to me, it's just, I don't want you to change who you are to be able to please
Mhm.
everybody else. If it benefits your job, that's up to you whether you want to
Mhm.
make that decision or not.
Yeah.
But you show who you are. A smile, I know, can change a lot. People might come in. That's why I say, come in with a smile, because you may come into the video or a meeting or something like that. Somebody's
Mhm.
having a tough day. Their kid
Mhm.
got hurt, husband or wife left. I don't know, car broke down, something, right? And you come
Right.
in, you're like, hi,
Mhm.
and you could start off with, it's been a long day. Anybody else? Like, yeah, everyone's like, yeah, because everyone goes into business meetings, professionally, but there has to be some relief. There has to be
Yeah.
some comic relief within a couple places to, for everyone to feel more comfortable. You have to make everybody feel, or you don't have to, but you want to make everyone feel as comfortable as they can going
Right.
into anything that they're being invited to. Nice.
Sorry.
Was that the one that we tried earlier?
No, I got that one. That's the one thing about here. The flies are awful in the summer, and they've been buzzing around me this whole time. I'm like, no.
There's a fly trap that went viral like recently where you just place it out. I gotta send you it. I'll find it and I'll send you it.
Yeah, sorry. They drive me crazy. And especially being at the barn all the time.
I haven't seen a fly swatter in years.
I got it. That's one. Now there's one more. They fly and they're like right at your arm. That's like the worst opportune time. But I'm like itching the whole time. But what you're saying is 100% accurate. See, now they're attacking me.
Take a quick break. Not only was she a bartender, real estate agent, she loves horses. She trained them. Now she's a professional ninja at swatting flies.
Yes. My son got paid $5 yesterday to swat flies in someone's home. It's
really?
A business.
It's that bad?
Oh my God, it's so bad. You open up the door and they fly right in, or, sometimes you let the dogs out. And just even for that minute that the door's open, you've got like 5 more that come into the house.
I can imagine the amount around horses that you might have to deal with, especially during the summer.
Yes, that's crazy.
But
it's so annoying.
We have this spray that we spray around all the windows and the doorways. We haven't had one fly mosquito come in our house, spider.
Oh my God.
In the 2 years we've been here, and it's bad. It is so bad. Mosquitoes here are just I haven't worn shorts in probably since I left.
Oh my gosh.
I will not wear them outside. I am too prone to that. I'm sorry. They like my blood for some reason. Passion.
And then you're itching like mad all the time.
Do you have any remedies for the itching?
Yes, you take your long fingernail, which I don't have, and you jam it into the bite. You do it this way, and then you do it that way, and then that creates pain, so that way you don't have to itch it.
All right, you psychopath. This is what my grandpa taught me. He told me to cut a lemon or lime in half and rub it really hard because the acid, or the acidity will knock that itching out. That, or you could put a little bit of toothpaste or deodorant because then it dries it out.
Oh, all right. I'll have to try that. Like we don't have too many mosquitoes, You go up to the mountains for sure, but not down here.
Don't you have a lot? Is there a mountain range in your background, or from the view of your house?
It's a hill.
Oh, that's so cool! Why wouldn't you want to wake up to that, people? Boise, it's so green.
I found out that Boise actually means city of trees in French. I had no idea.
Look at you knowing French while being German. Nice.
I know a little bit of Spanish too, thanks to the horses.
You teach the Spanish? What?
No, because of the horses, and you worked at the barns in Orange County. There was a lot of the Latino cultures there working the barn for you, and so you learn how to speak Spanish.
Seeing so much green here, really, I've had a couple people come to visit me over here, and they'll use the same. It is so funny that every time I have somebody visit, they say the same thing, that the air quality is so much more crisp than California, and it is so true. People don't even realize if you go to a state with so much trees around you, you smell the difference, and it's just so much better. It's not the air that made me move. It's just seeing city upon city upon city so much that I was like, dude, I'm so tired of seeing a car sales, like a dealership every 2 seconds on the highway, and coming here and just driving through the countryside. So much better. I mean, do you guys have those long open roads as well, where it's just open field or forest?
Yes, yeah. On the way out to Cascade and McCall, it's probably about 2 hours or so from us here. You do go through like the mountain ranges alongside the river. Like it takes me back to Colorado, driving out there, and then it does open up to huge fields like farmlands, and in such a short span of time. And then you've got two of the mountain ranges, so it's all shoved into one. It's never a boring drive because it's
Mhm.
always changing scenery.
I want to warn everyone going through Colorado. Tell you like for a second what happened when I moved over here. I drove across the country. Me and my dad took a straight 38-hour drive, and one of the countries we didn't stop, but one of the when we passed through Colorado, um, I had the windows. It was hot, and I had the windows up with the AC going, and as we not even 30 seconds passing the border, as soon as we got to the border, the smell of marijuana just
Mm,
came through the vents, and my dad was like,
mhm.
"What is that?" I was like, "Oh, Dad," and
Wasn't me.
but yeah, not me. Um, but Colorado, driving through there, if I were to retire, that's the state I would retire in. It is such a
Mhm,
beautiful state, mountain
mhm,
ranges, the river, the air was so cold, but it was warm at the same time. Oh,
mhm.
I would
I
love that
know.
state. I
I
would
used
love
to
that.
love Colorado too. And then it's same thing, just happens everywhere. It blew up and super expensive. And now it's overpopulated as well. And, you got to go to the
Mhm.
different spots in order to even find something that you can afford. So it kind of sucks.
Is it annoying when people come to Boise and then, you like I said, like we've said multiple times before, that you look for people who are there with families, equestrians, people with a lot of different kind of pets.
Mhm.
Is it annoying when you get people who are coming from Cali with this certain mentality? Like I can only me and you would be able to or anyone else who's from California maybe understand, but people have a certain personality
Mhm.
living in Cali.
Mhm.
And is it annoying when you get this type of person that comes in because you just I don't want to really like. Do you ever have do you ever personally? No, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say discriminate, but no, that's not something that I would want you to say. No, so
I noticed the difference in the personality types.
you
Here
know
in
when you have a certain
Idaho,
person you're
yes.
dealing with.
Idaho people are very laid back. So if you drive fast, you know that you're not an Idaho person. If you cut people off or you don't leave a gap at a driveway, you know that you're not from Idaho. They're just very more considerate and unselfish. And I don't know why California breeds such selfishness, but it is a sense of entitlement and selfishness that just pours out of their system. I mean, that you
Yeah.
can definitely just even through their car know that, oh, you're not from here. And I'm from California. I don't know why I ended up, being born there, but there are normal people who move from California to here that all have the same thing. Like, don't bring your shit attitude here. Like you
Yeah.
here to kind of get away from all the other people and to have some form of humanitarian people around you, people that still care about others and don't put themselves first. That's why we move out here. And it's hard to find that more and more when it's so over inundated with people who are a little bit more self-centered.
Yeah, guys, it's so true. When you're dealing with someone from and I can't stress that enough, and I hope you guys understand the amount of times I've said it that people from California, I am from there, but I don't hold that sort of entitlement from that, and I honestly feel bad for I just am not as cultured as I should be, and I think of a lot of people think of life one certain way, and that's why you should travel and experience because if you I left Irvine because Irvine was such we called it the bubble, and if you don't
Mhm,
really leave it, you're kind of staying there for a while, and
mhm,
even I was not allowed to really be myself for years there. I had certain friends that we like there was one time we were so bored that we put on animal costumes. We drove down PCH playing the Lion King soundtrack, and we got laughs, but we got more judgment then
Mm.
laughs. And it was, a lot of staring eyes. And I'm just like, dude, why are you so stuck up? Like, why
Yeah.
we don't have to be a certain way,
Right.
like to be a part of society, be outside of the society. It's just so much better. And Cali, you're rich unless you're humble. You're
Mm.
gonna be a lot of people I've dealt with were stuck up, and that wasn't the case with Dove Canyon people. A lot of Dove Canyon residents were very
Mm.
nice. You have those few Skittles and the bowls of M&M. All right, you. um, but yeah, and it's with that all, folks. Can't speak sometimes. When you have somebody who comes from money, it's very 50-50
Mm.
on people who are either humbled by it or they look at you a certain way, and it
Mhm.
sucks. And a lot of those people who have money sometimes decide to move out, maybe for political reasons. I'm not too sure, but then they,
Yeah.
unfortunately, like you said, bring their dumbass attitude
Mhm.
to a different state where, look, we don't kind of do that here. You're gonna have to change.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
part of
and
adapting.
there are liberals here too. It's not they're just like in Orange County, like that's a Republican county,
Mhm.
So that's not sometimes it plays a part in a relationship with between people, but I think really it's just if you are a kind person and you go out of your way to help somebody who needs it or, put somebody else in front of your own needs, that's what they really value over anything.
With this new generation, I would say I agree with you fully, but be careful because
Mm.
I think I explained this in the last podcast with my mom, but I had I was leaving Walmart and I saw this lady in the parked in the handicap zone. She had a cane. She had dropped her oranges, this bag of oranges on the ground, and she didn't close her trunk all
Mm.
enough, and it opened back up, fell out. I was with
Mm.
my brother. Thought this was a cool teaching opportunity, to help, to teach my brother. You be nice, you be civil, you help a person in need. She spilled her stuff, you help pick it up.
Yeah.
Like she's I was taught that, and especially that she was handicapped to help
Mm.
a person who needs help.
Yeah.
Um, Wind up, she hit my hand with her cane and then called and started yelling in the parking lot that I was robbing her. And there was
Oh
a
my God.
policeman in the parking lot that came over and talked to me, almost detained me based off of her
Yeah.
word. And there's been times where people I open the door and they're like, I can get my own door. I'm like, all right,
Right.
there's you want to be nice. You don't ever lose that part of yourself if you have manners.
Hmm.
But you also got to be careful now, unfortunately, with I guess how you handle people. For
Yeah.
guys, it's a lot of misogynistic stuff, and I'm
Hmm.
sad about it. Um, but yeah, you don't just don't don't be, and that's not to you, Sean. This is to everyone. Don't be that person. Please don't. Like if somebody wants to open the door for you, you don't have to use your energy to open a door. All right, like people are lazy enough as it is.
Make sure you say thank you.
Thank you, please, and thank you goes
Yes.
a very long way.
Sure does.
You guys don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, again, like I said, there's a new generation of kids who are not disciplined correctly.
Right.
it's it's bad. Ooh, have you had to deal with anybody being in the real estate business who you just know obviously had everything handed to them their entire lives,
Mm,
who are not
no,
humble?
no. I think because people who are in real estate, they work their butts off to be successful.
Mhm.
Um, I've not yet seen anyone in real estate, and I don't know a whole lot of real estate agents in California, but here they work their butts off they work hard to get where they're at.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
you got this. You're
Yeah.
gonna beat that 25-year-old woman who gets everything.
All right.
Why? Because you're Shauna. No, don't doubt yourself.
Oh, her name was Shauna too.
No, no.
Yeah. And she lives around the corner from me. She's the cute thing, man. And she's got
No.
4 kids. Girlfriend is busy. But I'm very happy for them. I'm very happy for her, and and the other woman too. And she's from Irvine. And I know
You just
that my
bond.
time will come.
Wow.
Hmm?
You can just bond with, oh, dude. I have I'm sorry, yeah, you were sorry, finish that.
Oh, I was gonna say too, when you were talking about you're meant to be where you are at that time. When I was in Orange County, I was like, I really want to be a stay-at-home mom because the last 2 years before you moved, I was working all day and then to support the business, working at night too. So I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with the kids, and
Yeah.
it really took an effect on the whole family unit. So the fact that I am now able to be a stay-at-home mom and be here for the kids is so rewarding. And I keep telling myself, I asked for that. Now I've got that. And I'm totally grateful that I have that. But I remember when I closed my first house, I was like, gosh, that also felt really good, like. So when I asked the kids, what do you think? Do you think mom should go back to work? Quickly, no. It was so quick. Do not go back to work. So I know that with that, they're like, yeah, they definitely need their mom right now. And as they get older into high school and into their friends, I can ask them again, do you think I should go back to work? And they'd be like, I could imagine to be like, yeah, sure, go do.
Yeah. And then COVID hit, and then your kids were like, yes, mom.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my business had to close down. I couldn't have anyone at the barn, but then we moved here, and actually it was really great because for our family we got to spend a lot of quality time together. Um, and then Gavin, he still worked because he could work from home. But it really helped to bring us back together even after like the 2 years of working with other people's kids and families, that it's like
Mm.
my family comes first.
Yeah, of
So
course. Always.
yeah.
All right, guys. Shauna, I've taken up enough of your time. Again, thank you for being on here. You were fantastic. You are fantastic. I love seeing your face again. I know
Oh,
you've been a very busy woman, busy
I know,
mom,
it's
busy
crazy.
life, and I hope to talk to you more. And I'm so happy that I was able to keep our friendship going
Me too.
after I left and you left. All right.
Me
Like
too.
you,
Me too.
you and your family are a big part of my heart. And I'd just like to say, if you ever need any help, I'll and help you out with some of your stuff. You ever need additional help, you ever want to come visit, hopefully I want to come visit.
Yes.
I know you're always welcome any time in the point. If my phone is always available, so
Thank you.
you're welcome.
It was good to see you.
It's good to see you too, guys. Thanks, Shauna, for being on. If you have any questions about her business, feel free. Like I will put it in the comment, all her stuff in the comments. Shauna, please send me information.
Yeah. Edit.
And your card. I would like to, I'm going to put your card like right up here. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Aww. Well, I do digital cards, so I can
Oh yeah.
just send you my card through that, because then it goes right into your phone. People will be like, "Oh, business card, thanks," and toss it. Now you can't toss it. It's in your phone.
I'm gonna send you a card of mine, which is my face going, "You're welcome"
Oh,
on the bottom.
perfect.
All right, Shauna. Thank you again for being on. I hope you have a good rest of your day, a good week.
Thank you.
And
You too.
I love that you get to spend more time with your kids.
Me too.
Not that I thought you, not that I thought you didn't. Okay, I'll see you later. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Thank you again for being on. This has been the Overstuffed Burrito podcast, and hopefully I'll have you on in the future.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
I'll talk
bye.
to you later. See ya.
Bye.